I've got an interesting criminal law topic today regarding impaired by alcohol or impaired by a drug. And these are the standard field sobriety tests. There's 3 of them, which we have in Canada now, which are mandated by the criminal code and the regulations of criminal code. So what are they? And I'm going to give you an example of how this works. So let's say a police officer sees you're driving and maybe there was a slight weave or maybe there was nothing. I don't know. Maybe you went through a red light or maybe they just decided to pull you over because they can do that. Just decided to pull you over and check your license. And they pull you over and maybe you had a slight slur or something like that. They say, well, I'd like you to step outside the vehicle. I'm going to give you these standard field sobriety tests. The criminal code now allows for this. In past years, it didn't, but we've changed the regulations. And I want to go over these tests. So there's the horizontal gaze nystagmus test, NYSTAGMUS, something like that. HGN test for short. So this test involves the police officer is going to ask you to follow a pen or their finger horizontally from the peripheral of your vision from side to side. He's going to watch carefully your eyes with a flashlight if it's at night to see if there's involuntary jerking. See, what scientific studies have shown that involuntary jerking can show, for example, drug impairment, as an example. So that's one test. So you might fail that, you might pass it. If you're on drugs, you're going to fail it. So the next test is the 1 foot balance test. So that involves where you're holding your foot, you're standing on 1 foot straight up, you hold 1 foot 6 inches off the ground and just balance for a set number of seconds, for example, 30 seconds. The officer's looking for any balance problems. It's a difficult test to do even after a couple of drinks or obviously on a marijuana cigarette. For some people, it might be difficult to do on a sober day, depending on the level of your balance. And then there's the walk and turn test. And I find this test very difficult for a person my age. I'm 62 now. So you should try it at home. So try it sober, not drinking, because you're going to fail drinking. You might fail sober too. Because especially if you're nervous at a roadside, it seems like these tests, not the HGN test, because that's involuntary, but the last 2, as a friend of mine said, these are designed to fail because we were practicing before I was doing these videos to just practice the test to see how we did. So walk a straight line, heel to toe for 9 steps, then spin and turn on 1 foot and walk back. Not easy. Maybe it's easy for a real balanced, coordinated young person. It's not easy at my age at 62. So these are the 3 tests. So what's going to do? So let's say you fail 1 or all 3 of these tests. What is the officer going to do? Well, they might decide to give an approved screening demand, which is the alco test. For example, if you have an odor of alcohol, even if you don't, they can give the alco test anyway now. New law says you don't even have to have reasonable suspicion to give the alco test at the roadside. You can stop a car and ask the person to blow in an alco test. It seems strange, but that's the new law. 2018 or 19, I think. They might do that. If you blow over, they'll bring you down for the real test. Or if they fail the test, probably what they're going to do is not do that. If I was an officer, I wouldn't. If I thought you failed those, I'd say, oh, I have reasonable grounds now that you're impaired. I'm going to bring you down either for a DRE evaluation. Let's say you did the involuntary jerking. Well, that shows drug impairment. I'm going to bring you down for the DRE drug recognition evaluation test. My next round of videos, I'm going to go over those and how to defend them and all that sort of thing. So that's going to be an interesting video that I'll do in a couple months. So that's a series of a whole bunch of tests, balance, you name it, muscle tone, blood pressure, back at the police station. Or if they feel that you have an odor of alcohol and you've also failed this test, they'll bring you back for a breath test. Or they can do both. Maybe they're going to do the DRE and the breath test back at the police station. But the bottom line is these tests are easy to fail, especially for an old guy like me, unfortunately, and sober or drinking. Now, it's important, you're not allowed to refuse these tests. That's a criminal charge which has serious repercussions, just like a DUI, unfortunately. And a lot of people don't know that. They'll refuse. And you know, look at a sober person who's even got great balance. Are you going to follow all those directions? Like walk straight line, spin on 1 foot. They're looking for following directions too. You're nervous. It's at the roadside. It's late at night. It's kind of a disaster. Exactly. They're kind of designed to fail. But anyway, that's the law in Canada, and the police have a lot of powers. The powers have increased in recent years, and as I said, they're allowed to pull you over for any reason now and just give you an approved screening device. Before, That's called the alco test. The device you blow into the road test is the screening device to get you back from the main test if you fail. Before, in years past, they had to have an odor of alcohol to give that screening test because it was contrary to the charter, but that law's all changed with the amendments to the criminal code, which came in about 2019. So there you have it, a little bit short primer on the SFTs, the standard field sobriety tests, which are pertinent and being done by police officers in Ontario and throughout Canada as we speak. Thank you for watching our video. We are absolutely committed to bringing you the best possible criminal and DUI educational videos. If you found this video helpful, please like it and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you've been charged with a criminal offense in Ontario and require our services, please click on the link in the description below.